Hello, Village Vibers. How are you today? It is Tuesday morning. Who is excited to be watching Village Vibes today? Let me just pop this up on my computer so I can see any comments that come in. Pam is watching. Yay, Pam. Welcome to my home sewing room today. Fran is not here, as you can tell. She had a meeting today, an important meeting, and couldn't miss it. And so I'm doing Village Vibes by myself. And she said, hey, why don't you just do it from home? Which is great because I live a little bit from the store. So I'm able to not have to drive in this morning, which is awesome. So I thought I would show you a couple things in my sewing room today. But first, I wanted to see who got to join us for Shop Hop. We had so much fun doing Shop Hop. Hi, Pam. Looks like Lynette is watching as well. We figure probably 1,800 of you, and maybe even a little bit more. Those are just the patterns that we passed out. Well, I'm not totally sure how many we had left, but 1,700 to 1,800 of you. So we had so much fun getting to visit with you. And we know some of you don't get to join us all the time in the store, and Shop Hop is maybe the one time a year you get to join us. So it was so much fun. And it was so fun to hear some of you say that you watch Village Vibes. So that was exciting. And because I get to do this every week, it was exciting for me to know that some of you enjoy watching it. So, okay, well, comment and let us know if you were able to join us or if you missed it, which we understand that we have people who watch from all over the country. So we obviously know that some people aren't going to be able to join us. But so if you remember the first week of April, we had a snow day at the store. And Fran had to close the store because of a big storm. And I did Village Vibes right here in my sewing room that day. And I showed you a project that I was going to get started. I showed you some 4.5-inch blocks, and I was hoping to make a bag that looked like this. Here's a bigger picture of it. This picture has all my notes of how I was going to do it. Well, I actually finished this project this morning. So, I'm not a Biani expert, but I was making the Catch-All Caddy 2.0, which I really love, and I'm super excited to use this, take it to retreats, just be able to take it places. So, oh, hi, Nicole. Hi, Mary. I hope you're doing well, Nicole, and hello to Mary. Thanks for joining. So I'm excited to show you this project. Now, I can't remember exactly when this sew along started, but I'm excited to finally get it finished and to be able to use it. So here is my tote that I made. So this, I mean, it's not a front or a back, but this is kind of the back of the bag. And then on this side, it has just a pocket that is just open. And on this side, it has a zippered pocket. And I know perspective is hard, but this is kind of the front of the bag, I guess you would say. So it's got these nice handles, and it's even kind of got these like, said carrying straps or something. I can't remember exactly what they called them on the edge of the bag. And then inside, it's got pockets as well. Let's see. These ones are just plain. They're kind of my lining fabric. And then I used some of my other blocks on the inside to make these inside pockets. So the only thing I have to do is get my bottom piece of, you know, plexiglass or something in the bottom, or plastic or whatever to put in the bottom, and I have a lining already made for that. So it is so cute and so much fun. So these blocks ended up being 4 inches finished, so it's about 12 inches across, and just these are 4 inches, so just a little bit taller, about six-ish inches. But I had a lot of fun. I learned a lot making this. It is not perfect, but I really love it, and I think it was a great way to display these blocks. That took me a lot of time. So these ones are front pockets on here, and then the back our pockets as well. So anyway, I'm excited to be able to report that that is finished and so useful. So I really love the Bayani patterns. They're written really well. Sometimes I had to reread the instructions a few times, but really good. And they finish very professionally. They look really nice. So I'm excited about that. Okay, so I wanted to show you just a couple things that I like in my sewing room that I just kind of keep handy and grab all the time. And a lot of them are not even technically sewing items. So I wanted to show you one of the first things that I love in my sewing room. My husband bought me this at DI. It was $1. The price tag is still on it. And it is just a paper stand. So it can just fold up. It's super lightweight. And then it's got just a clipboard clip on the top. And I leave this right by my sewing machine as I'm sewing. And I put my pattern pieces on the top, you know, clipped in. And then my pattern pieces don't blow away. And then they're standing up. And so I can see them. So I don't know how many times I've put a piece of fabric over my pattern or, you know, whatever, and I can't find a page of my pattern or whatever. So this has really helped with this. And then the other thing I do is I guess I should say, I put it on here and then I move it to my cut table, cut all my pieces, and then I can just easily move it to my sewing machine. So this is one thing I love. So I'm sure you can find something like this on Amazon or somewhere else, but if you have a DI shopper, you might be lucky to find one there. So I love that in my sewing room. My favorite seam ripper is a Clover seam ripper. And I buy these like 3 at a time because I swear they just get lost and they move around and travel in my sewing room. I don't know. It's just, it fits nicely in my hand. It's nice and sharp. So I love my Clover seam ripper. Another Clover product that I love is my magnetic pincushion. And I have 3 or 4 of these around my sewing room, and I love them. One reason I love them is, if I can do it, it has a lid. So when I travel, I can just pop the lid on and travel like this. And then when most of the time when I'm just at home, it just sits like this, and it's just magnetic. So I kind of set it on the throat of my machine, and as I'm sewing, I can kind of just almost throw my pins. Not really throwing, but I just kind of toss them over there and it just grabs them. So love my Clover pincushion. And like I said, I've got several of these and it's nice and easy to travel with. I always have a cup full of my favorite drinks, which is usually not water because I'm better at drinking Diet Coke than water. So a cup, and I have a really cute coaster that my aunt made me. It says, "Life is so good." So I keep my cup on that all the time. And another thing I wanted to show you was my apron. I love this apron. I've had this apron for many years now. And what this apron is actually a hairdresser's apron. So it's kind of slick fabric. And my aunt, who actually helped me make this, just joined. So I'm so excited. So it's kind of slick fabric. She embroidered my name on the top. And then one of my favorite things about this apron is the pockets. So the pockets are zippered at the bottom, if I can show you this. So then you can, oh, something fell out of it. A button fell out of it. So you can dump stuff out. So what I find myself doing as I'm pressing, as I'm around my sewing room, sitting at my machine, trimming, all sorts of things, if I find threads, I kind of just shove them in my pocket. And then, once a week or whatever, I dump out my pockets. So it's great. I find that I don't have quite as many threads sticking to me when I'm walking around, the grocery store after I've been sewing because it's slick. So love that. I would highly recommend this. And I did check, you can get these on Amazon. So just search for zippered hairdresser's apron or hairstylist apron or zippered pockets, something like that. And you should be able to find it. So mine's in great shape. I've had to sew the pockets on a little bit because I use them a ton, but Anyway, I love my apron, and I put it on all the time, and I take it off and I just lay it on the back of my sewing chair so that next time I come in my sewing room, I remember to put it on. And my mom has one too, and anytime we talk to each other and we like to FaceTime while we sew, we'll say, "Where's your apron?" And so we get to go put it on. The last thing I wanted to show you is I saw this idea on probably Pinterest or Instagram. I'm not sure where I saw it, over a year ago. And I saw how they were taking these antique glass bowls. Can you see how they've kind of got these beautiful kind of lace pattern in glass all the way around? And I've got my Wonder Clips in this one, so maybe I'll take it out so you can see. They're on a little stand, and there you go. You can see a little bit better. But I saw how, you know, you can put whatever you want in there. Like I said, I put my Wonder Clips in there. Love it. And then around the outside, you can just drop your small scissors. So I was looking for one at different places, and I happened to find this one first. So this one is kind of a rose colored glass, and this one has a lid. And so I found this one at an antique store. And then since then, my husband and my sister-in-law, who are big antiquers and DI shoppers, they found me several white ones. And I really wanted a milk glass one. So this is something I've kind of started collecting, and they're just so handy to have, you know, sitting around your sewing room, and you can just keep your pins in them and keep whatever you want. So I have these two actually sitting on my sewing desk, and then I've got a couple in different places in my sewing room because I'm collecting them now, and I really like them. So, that's what I wanted to show you today. Tell me something that you love in your sewing room that you have always sitting handy. Thanks, Ambiel. So anyway, something that maybe even is like a little bit unusual item, like something like this, or like a hairdresser's apron, something that you maybe wouldn't expect to be in a sewing room, but it works really well for you. The other thing I wanted to say is I added an Amazon Alexa device, and I know that you can have different kinds of devices. You know, Google has one, and there's a lot of different ones. But I added one, I think at Christmas time, into my sewing room, and I have really loved it. I love to listen to books on tape. I love to listen to music while I'm sewing. And she is great at doing math. And I ask her math questions all the time, and she is correct all the time, whereas I am not in my head. So that's another fun thing that I've added into my sewing room as well. So I hope you all have a great Tuesday. Fran will be with us next week, and I know that you will be excited to have her back. And we've got some really fun ideas planned for future Village Vibes. But if there's something you'd like to see or hear from Fran or see a demonstration on or whatever, will you just shoot a comment to us so that we can add that in our plans? Because we would love to be able to give you information that's helpful for you. Teach you something, show you something that you didn't know about, show you something you were confused about, whatever that happens to be. So shoot me a comment. And I think that's all I have today. I'm just going to keep it nice and sweet and short, and the sun is shining. It is a beautiful spring day. Finally, spring has arrived. So I hope you get to play in your sewing room today, or I hope you get to enjoy the beautiful sunshine if it's sunny where you're at. So thank you, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.